So we're currently here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which was originally supposed to be Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and then big, historic, apocalyptic winter storm Fern decided that it wanted to drop a ton of ice, freezing rain over Texas. So they moved my load over here to Charlotte, and it was all supposed to be doing all my flights and everything yesterday, Saturday. And then they canceled that one and then changed it to a layover overnight, leaving this morning from Charlotte. As of now, my flights have not been canceled, but I'm a little nervous because, well, everything's covered in snow. So hopefully they're looking better at the airport, but we'll see. Hopefully my next check-in will be in San Diego, but it's definitely an interesting way to start this video.
Featuring the upsweep Queen, this sturdy plane was designed for intercontinental flight. With luck, it might get across the street.
Alright, we're here in Balboa Park, San Diego. There's all these buildings here represented by different countries. I didn't bother to look to see what this is about. I just kind of stumbled upon it. So I'm going to look it up and maybe come back when some of these are open. Maybe relive a little bit of Europe. See what's up with that. Alright, I found House of Iran. Now I just gotta find House of Venezuela next.
And this time I think I'm gonna have you
And, you know, God,
Oh yeah. When I went to this one place.
I didn't see most of this.
That reminds me, it's time to go grocery shopping. Okay guys, so that's day one in San Diego. I feel like I made the most of it considering I didn't get here till pretty late in the day. I didn't really get out and about till like 4-ish. But I did the car museum, the automotive museum that they have here. I did the Air and Space Museum, and then I just walked all over Balboa Park. Saw their like
World of like United Nations thing. So I'll have to come back and check that out so I can go into the actual like individuals, countries, stores, because they were all closed by the time I rolled up. And then, you know, there's just a ton of people doing all kinds of things, like just vendors, performers, you know, other people making videos. So I didn't feel as out of place, but still felt like kind of a douche walking around with a camera and a big microphone. One thing I will say is be mindful with where you're walking whenever you come to Balboa Park. If you come to Balboa Park, there's like this random section once you get in one of the parking lots that's like, I think some kind of homeless camp, because there's like porta potties, public like restroom and sink, like mirrors so you can shave your face. There's tents set up, so I think it's just kind of like a crash pad, kind of like rehab deal maybe. I didn't bother to ask, I just kind of breezed right through it once I figured out exactly where I was. So that's something to watch out for. But a quick review on the things that I did. So crack my window now, I just didn't want that guy to hear me making a video. The Automotive Museum, you get a discount if you're active duty military. I only had to pay $17, but even for $17, I feel like I could have got more exposure, saw cooler vehicles just by driving around the city of San Diego. It was kind of underwhelming. The pictures online make it look way bigger than it actually is, and they don't have pictures of like what their current displays actually are. And so you go online and you see like some exotics and some like classics and whatever, and there's some stuff like that. But like if you have a specific company that you really like for example, I love Porsches. I don't know if I'll ever own one, but I love Porsches. I love the way they look, love the way they sound. There's something about them that's cool. Whatever. Not a single Porsche on display. It's like, what? Come on, like you got Jaguars, there was a Lamborghini in there, Ferrari in there. Like, where's the Porsche? You know, they're very important in automotive history as well. But it's fine. It's cool. Whatever. Now the Air and Space Museum, on the other hand, was pretty neat. Obviously, a bunch of static displays, and even like some things they had in there. They actually had like the props rotating, like on the helicopter that they had, like it was an Apache or a Cobra or something. I don't know my helicopters that well, but you know, they had the blade spinning, not like at full speed, just on a little like, you know, little electric motor, but still cool. And it was free for military. Otherwise, it's $35. So I guess pick and choose what you want to do. If you have money to spend, do it all. But I will say the Automotive Museum, not really worth it. Air and Space Museum, definitely worth it for free. If you're a big history buff, probably worth it for $35. But yeah, I think of the Automotive Museum, I think of the quote from Tommy Boy where it's like, you know, I can stick my head up a bull's ass to look at the T-bone, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it, right? That's probably a bit of a an over-exaggeration for how bad it was. I was just really underwhelmed. I don't know. I like cars, and I was let down, but that's it. That's day one. I'm gonna go to the grocery store now and get some food because I'm hungry and I don't have food, and I don't want to start eating out quite yet because it is very expensive here, and I think the grocery store is also going to be very expensive, but it is what it is. So anyways, that's the video for day one. We'll check back in on my next adventure. Okay, we are out here at Point Loma in San Diego, Point Loma / Cabrillo National Monument. Came out here to go for a run, so we're gonna do that. I've never been here before, so I'm not gonna go fast. Not gonna try to make crazy time, just more to explore. So I'll probably make some stops and take some pictures as well, and maybe make a video update like halfway. But this is day two, so let's get into it. Alright, so we made it down. Really nice down here. Nice and salty. Beautiful waves. No sea lions though. I was hoping to see some seals or sea lions, but that's alright. I came all the way down that hill, so now we get to go all the way back up and incline the whole way, so that'll be fun. But beautiful so far. This has been very awesome. real quick. Look how much bird crap is on this rock. It's white. The whole part of that rock is white. How the birds poop so much. Okay. I'm recording this video. As soon as I get done running up. That was such a pain. I didn't even really like run. Ah, jeez. It was like a quick shuffle, if you will. So I was moving my feet just enough to, you know, get them off the ground, so it even like kind of resembled a jog. But I probably wasn't moving much faster than if I just speed walked. But we did it. I didn't stop. So I got to the top. So, and just to prove it, here we are. All the way down there, where that lighthouse is, where it was. And now up here, this little awning that you guys saw. Oh, that's part of the video. So, there's one more trail that I want to check out. I think it's kind of downhill a little bit on the way there, but then it's definitely uphill on the way back up. So, that is what it is. I don't think it's going to be as much dirt and stairs. We're going to go ahead and knock that out. All right, that is it. We're at the bottom of the Bay Trail, something Bay Trail. Here we are, San Diego Bay. Harbor's in that way. Here's North Island Airfield. Hotel Coronado is like right there. This first series of buildings. Bunch of sailboats. And the seal stuff is further down that way. And this is kind of cool, these little markers that you see. They're making little sound signals, so mariners know they're there even at night. So that's pretty neat. And then on my way down, over on the other side, I didn't record this in my coastal trail portion of this video, but there was an American LSD over there, the ship, not the drug, one of the amphib ships. So I made pretty good time coming down that hill, but it was downhill the whole way and gravel, so it wasn't dirt and other stuff that I could easily slip on. But now we get to go back up, so we'll check in again at the top. There goes a Seahawk. Looks to be a Sierra. Sweet. All right, little detour here. Came up to the lighthouse, but yeah, the actual tower blocked off. But it's 5 miles a day, minus, I guess, in addition to the run back to the car, which isn't even a quarter mile. So, not bad. Obviously this was not for speed. Yeah, my track was all over the place, as you can tell, but pretty good. Got to move in a lot of hills, more hills than I've ran.
in a very long time, if not like ever, as far as actually elevation gain and loss. So pretty good. But that's my day 2 for San Diego. So I don't really have anything planned for tomorrow. So I might not have like a day 3, but whenever I do something on day 3, I'll record it, and that'll be my day 3, even if it's not actually my 3rd day. That's it. I'll see you on whatever day 3 is. All right, guys, here we are. This is San Diego, adventure number 3. Not day number 3, but adventure number 3. Today we are at Cuyamaca or Cuyamaca Park, however you pronounce it. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video, but the state park here in San Diego County, so not in the city, but in the county. And it's home to the 2nd highest mountain peak in San Diego County, but that's behind Hot Springs Mountain, which I plan on doing this Saturday. The max elevation here is going to be like 6,500 feet. I think you start at like 4,000 or 4,500 feet, so you're not getting a crazy amount of elevation gain, but apparently the view from the top is really nice. It's a 4-mile hike total, so this shouldn't take me any more than an hour and a half, 2 hours if I really take my time. If I power walk it, you know, it'd be a little bit quicker, but that's what we're doing. I got my backpack with all my camera stuff in it because, again, looking for those really good views. And apparently the top of the mountain is actually pretty bare. From what I was reading up on, there was a devastating wildfire here back in the early 2000s, and the area never really fully recovered. So there's not a ton of obstructions up there to mess with pictures or anything like that. As far as gear for the hike, I'm just wearing pants and a pair of tennis shoes. I'm not really picky with my hiking stuff, and this isn't a terribly complicated hike. I'm gonna switch hands here. Not a terribly complicated hike. And so I just have my shoes, my pants, my water, camera bag, and this little hoodie that I'm wearing because it's already in the low 60s, and as the sun continues to go down, it's gonna get cooler, obviously. There's 2 ways to do this. There's either this trail that I'm taking here, or there's like an old paved or gravel fire road that takes you straight up to the top. So in the interest of time, I'm gonna take this regular hiking trail to the top and then just take the fire road back down, just so I'm not here like too late after dark, because I don't have any lights, like headlights or anything with me, headlamps. I get there eventually. And then I brought a knife also, just because I don't know what kind of wildlife or wild people I might run into out here. So I have just a little fixed blade SE knife just for my protection. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down and start enjoying my hike, and we'll check in a little bit. Okay, real quick, this is Stonewall Peak back here behind me. I'm not sure the elevation of it, but it's just another one of the peaks out here. But by the time this hike's over, we should be above it. But there it is, Stonewall Peak. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's some radio towers up there. That's my goal. We'll see if I make it. All right, already getting some really good views. This is pretty cool. I'm on this, let me back the camera up, on this fire road for a little bit, and then I'll be making a left up here shortly, and that'll take me the rest of the way up the mountain. Right now it's 4:35, so I've only been at this about a half hour. So chances are, well, alright, so the smart thing to do would be to recognize that I'm not going to complete this fully before dark. I'll probably get to the peak before dark, but I don't think I'm getting back down before then. But I'm just gonna kind of end up taking the L and finish the hike in the dark if I have to.
my plan right now is because really the only predator out here is mountain lions and black bears. I think black bears, I don't really know that for sure. I'd imagine so, though. It seems like the right environment. So what I'm gonna do on my way back down is just have my phone flashlight out, playing music from my phone. That way I don't spook any animals, like they can hear me coming. And I have my knife also, like I said. So that's the plan. But on these flat sections, I'm walking as fast as I can. It got pretty steep there for a little bit though, and it was kind of gassing getting up there at a decent pace. But we're moving. We'll be there eventually. Okay, so I'm a little messed up. I guess there was a different hike that I was looking at today that was 2-ish miles. This one is 7 miles. So I'm gonna make the right call here and just start heading back down. Because I still have like another 2.5 miles or so. And that's gonna put me back way past dark. Way later than I'm comfortable being out here without somebody or without a weapon that has a little bit more reach than a knife. If you guys get what I'm kind of hinting at here. So I'm gonna make my way back down. I'm not gonna take it as a loss. You know, it is what it is. Maybe I'll actually learn how to read next time. Yeah, real quick. So yeah. So I'm still gonna count this as third adventure number 3. Just because, I mean, it's cool. I'm walking around somewhere I've never been before, and you know, I'm seeing new sights. So no hard feelings for myself. But we're gonna start making our way back down and maybe reward ourselves with something good to eat for dinner. Yeah, so Kuya, whatever the name is, Kiyomaka Park, that's the name of this one. 7.7 miles. All right, so if you guys decide to do this, it is not 2 miles or 4 miles round trip. It's 7, so almost double what I thought it was. So maybe if I'm done with my daytime duties at a decent enough time on Friday, I'll come back out here and try this one again. If I can, you know, get enough time to do it before dark, or maybe bring someone with me. And then Saturday, I plan on going, like I said, to Hot Springs Peak, which is the highest peak in San Diego County, whereas this is the second highest. And Saturday, I don't have anything to do, you know, no work or anything like that. So just get out there nice and early, take my time and actually enjoy the hike, and not, you know, have to speed walk the whole thing and run a portion of it like I've done so far for this one. But yeah, so we'll check back into the parking lot, kind of wrap this up, and go get something to eat. All right. Stonewall Peak again. It is getting a little dark, but I think I just passed my last little junction there, my last little turn. So should be on the home stretch of the parking lot. But the moon has made an appearance. Hello, moon. And the sun has disappeared behind the mountain over there. So we're still just making our pace, making our walk, strutting. I think some people might call it that. Almost there. Deer or skinwalker? I don't know. Boo! Alright, definitely a skinwalker. Oh, yeah, he's coming at me. Oh, God. No, he doesn't really seem to care. We're almost to the parking lot. Anyway, there's my little rental right there. Skinwalkers be damned. I'm gonna make it. This is day 4. This is all I did. Go to the beach. I'm gonna get some good tacos later too. That's it. Coronado Beach. And out there, the landmass you just saw is where I ran, where I went to running the other day. Day 4. All right, guys. This is adventure 5. That feels right. Today we are doing Hot Springs Mountain. This is on the Los Coyotes Indian Reservation in San Diego County. This peak is the highest peak in San Diego County, I think at almost 6,600 feet, if I remember correctly. I'll put the link to the website I used for some resources on this one in the description. It's about a 10-mile hike, so I've given myself plenty of time today. Hopefully this is a bit of a redemption from my last one, where I went to Cuyamaca Peak, and did not give myself enough time for that one because I didn't realize it was almost 8 miles. I'm probably going to go back out and do that one tomorrow. And again, give myself time to do it and actually enjoy it because that's the second highest peak. But a little bit about this one. So I mentioned the height, I mentioned where it is. It's $10 to get in onto the reservation, and then there's parking right at the trailhead. As far as gear, what I'm taking, it is a bit longer of a hike. And so I'm bringing some snacks this time, obviously a full bottle of water, and then just my camera stuff and whatnot as well. It's sunny out, but it's very breezy. One thing that I wish I would have brought is my Kestrel, so I could see, wind speeds and get the altimeter rating and stuff on that, but I'll just have to guess on the winds, and I'll just use GPS altitude on my phone to see exactly where I end up once I'm on the mountain. But I think that's enough of an intro. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting stuff ready and head up the mountain. Okay, we're maybe only a few hundred yards in on this hike. This is the biggest freaking pine cone I have ever seen. And I don't have small hands. That is crazy. These things are huge. I don't even know. Well, there's the culprit right there. That's got to be some kind of record. That's insane. All right, moving on. Okay, got a little flat area rest stop viewpoint here. One of these peaks out this direction. Maybe it's one of these. I really don't know. It's Cuyamaca Peak, the one that I attempted to climb the other day. So when I say that's the second highest, it's not really by much. It's only about 20 feet lower than the one that I'll be going up to, which I don't think I can actually see yet, but yeah, so not that big of a difference, but a difference nonetheless. Quick side note, they do have camping here on this trail, so if that's something y'all are interested in, that is available. And then one other quick note, there are some warning signs when you come in, talking about mountain lions, rattlesnakes, and other critters you might find out here that might pose a threat to you. It's just something to be aware of. I did bring my knife on this one as well, just in case. Same as I did the other day. But so far I haven't run into anything dangerous. I have seen some small piles of different animal poop. I'm not really sure what kind of animal they belong to because I have not been trained in that and I haven't done my own research in that, but it is out here, so something to be aware of. we go. Okay guys, switched over to my actual camera. I want to give you all an idea of how steep some of this is. So I'm recording at a 28mm equivalent focal length, and the camera is level. You can see I'm just kind of staring straight at the ground. So yeah. Oh well. Alright. So we're still making our way up. The website said when I start seeing pine trees I'm getting close, and well, there's a pine tree. Apparently you can take like ATVs and side-by-sides on this trail. I just had one pass me going down. I'm not really sure how they get on though, because the entrance had a gate that a side-by-side would not fit through. But I don't know. I like to think of it as I'm doing it the fun way. I also recently just lost the little wind protector fuzzball for my microphone, so now I'm using the backup wind protector fuzzball. So I gotta look for my other one on the way down. Lord knows where that is. Yeah, pine trees. Starting to get a lot more green up here. Seeing a bit more of a different variety of trees. We got the pines that we've had, and these guys also another evergreen of sorts, like a cedar or something. I don't really know my evergreens well, but they are plentiful. Alright guys, we are getting close. The amount of trees and brush has gone down quite a bit, and the steep part of the trail is behind us. And here's a little preview of the view that we're looking at. You can see all the way down this valley. It's pasture down here. Almost there. Once I get to the top, again I'll pull out my phone and we'll look and see what altitude it's showing us, and then we'll see how far we've walked so far. Alright, coming around the corner here, and what do I see? There's a fire tower. That's where we're going. Not too far. Let's keep it moving.
this out. That is ridiculous. Whatever mountain that is over here looks taller. So if it is taller, it's not in San Diego County, because I'm at the highest point in San Diego County right now. Well, technically it's up there. It's rock. So we're gonna see if we can kind of meander our way through the tower right here and get up there. Alright, I don't know how well you guys can hear this, but we're about 5 miles in. I paused this a little late. I'm going to call it hour 45 to the top. That's with all the stops and taking videos and pictures and whatnot. So not terrible. Not that I was doing this as a race anyway. Right now my phone holds me at 6,419 feet. Luckily this is supposed to be 65-35. I mean, it wouldn't be up there at all. Regardless of where up here, it is ridiculous. There's the Salton Sea over there. It's impossible to see with this lens, but it's over there. And I had to throw on my jacket because it's chilly and super windy. And now my sweat's just like immediately evaporating and cooling me down. Really wishing I would have remembered my Kestrel, but I'd say 20-25 mile an hour gusts. Probably feels like a lot more than it is, but it's still pretty breezy. But yeah, this view is incredible. Alright, at first I wasn't going to record anything on the way down, but I just noticed, for whatever reason, my fingers are really swollen. Not really swollen, but bigger than normal. And you can see I had to take my rubber wedding band off. Still starting to cut off the circulation of my ring finger. And it's the same on both hands, so I don't know if that's just the cold or the altitude. I'm not really sure, but I'm just gonna keep them right here so people still know I'm married. Yeah, that was pretty bizarre. All right, everybody, and we are done. That was Hot Springs Peak. Cool. So now we'll get back to the car and we'll see how far we walked, elevation change, all that good stuff. It'll be great. All right, we are off the mountain. So a few stats. So the parking lot here is at 4,446 feet, according to my phone. Also, according to my phone, the peak is actually only about 6,400 feet. Not 65-35 or whatever they claim. Excuse me. So regardless, you get about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. which isn't too bad. And in all, with all my stops and everything, took me 3 hours and 20 minutes, which also isn't bad. I was aiming for 4, so 3:20 is great. This one was a little weird, and I'll put a screenshot of it up, but on my little running walking app tracker thing, it says I got up to, oh, you know what, never mind, I'm dumb, I was reading it wrong. Yeah, so 6,400 feet on this one as well, so not quite that 6,535, but still pretty close. So that was awesome. Most of the way down, like during the really steep parts, I was kind of actually just like jogging a little bit, just letting gravity do the work. That's probably why I made it down in a really good time, because it was steep, and if I just like let my heels slam into the ground every single time, it would have probably jacked up my knees. Because I wasn't wearing a hiking shoe, I was just wearing my little trainers, which were adequate, but you know, you gotta make some adjustment for that. But as you guys can see, awesome views. I would highly recommend this hike if you have a day to do it. You know, it only took 3.5, 4 hours for me. I'd say 4 to 5. Normally, if you were really taking your time and not running down, running back down the mountain. So like easily doable within a morning or something like that. Awesome views, super windy. Okay, make sure you guys are prepared for that. Super windy, a little chilly, so I actually had to throw on my hoodie while I was on top, and then wear it down a little ways. So something to consider. And then the only part that I found sketchy or kind of technical at all really was this ladder, and that's what actually got you up to the peak. So you had to climb that little ladder and then kind of scurry up this rock, and there were ropes, you know. It was just a little sketchy, I guess, because you know, there was no way to like hook into anything or whatever climbers do. I don't know, I'm not a climber, but super cool regardless. Would highly recommend. This concludes day 5, pretty sure. Is that what I said earlier? 5? I don't know. Tomorrow, while I was at the top of this mountain, I saw another peak that's about 2.5 hours from my hotel. This one's going to be about 10,000 feet. I know nothing about it. It's this San Jacinto mountain. And I saw it, and I was like, wow, that one's taller than what I'm on. And I looked it up. About 10,000 feet. I know nothing about the hike. So, if it's similar to this one, you know, where it's like 10 to 12 miles, maybe, and something I could do in an afternoon, I might try to do it after Mass tomorrow, if I have enough time, but I'm not going to rush it. And I also don't really know if I have the proper supplies that I need, right? Like, excuse me, I'm trying to get my calories back. Like a proper hiking shoe, a Camelback, there's some kind of equivalent water source besides just like the big ass water bottle that I have. Real food, right? You're gonna get hungry. I got hungry on my hike. I'm starving right now. And then some proper clothing, proper protection. Because I'm sure if it was windy and cold at 6,500 feet, it's gonna be even windier, more windy, and colder at 10,000 feet. So we'll see. You know, I'm not gonna make any promises now, but I got a little bit more research to do. But that concludes day 5. Thanks for watching. Obviously the video's not over, so stick around for day 6 and see what I get into.